always drunk. These words sum up the tragic waste of one of Scotland's most talented footballers. Jim Baxter should have been a global superstar with his elegant skills and natural talent. Instead, his name is now a cautionary tale of genius squandered. Welcome to the story of how Slim Jim Baxter threw away what could have been one of the greatest careers in British football history. Born in the small mining village of Hill of Beath in 1939, Baxter rose from humble beginnings to become Scottish football royalty. His journey from local junior football through Raith Rovers to the heights of Rangers showed a player of rare gifts. Slim Jim, as fans called him, played with a style that made football look effortless. His elegant control, pinpoint passing, and natural flair made him the darling of Ibrox and a hero for Scotland. But beneath the silky skills lurked a dark side. While dazzling crowds with his talent, Baxter was already developing habits that would destroy his career and ultimately his life. As his fame grew, so did his vices. The contrast between the genius on the pitch and the troubled man off it creates one of football's most tragic tales. The pivotal moment in Baxter's downward spiral came in December 1964. Rangers were playing Rapid Vienna in the European Cup, leading 2-0 largely thanks to Baxter's brilliance. With victory secured, his confidence turned to showboating. He began taunting opponents, making fun of them with the ball. In the final minute, while attempting to nutmeg a defender, Baxter met with a brutal challenge that left him with a severely broken leg. The injury forced him out of football for 4 months. It was during this period of frustration and boredom that Baxter's relationship with alcohol reportedly spiraled out of control. Multiple accounts describe this as the watershed, where drinking transitioned from a social habit into a destructive addiction. The bottle became his escape from the pain and tedium of recovery. It's worth noting that heavy drinking was deeply ingrained in British football culture during the 1960s and 70s. Stars like Jimmy Greaves, Brian Clough, and George Best all battled alcoholism. This environment normalised Baxter's initial habits. But while the leg break is often cited as the trigger point for his heavy drinking, evidence suggests his Jack the Lad lifestyle, involving significant alcohol consumption, likely predated the injury. The forced break from football simply accelerated an existing problem. The stories of Baxter's drinking became legendary. During his time at Sunderland, he gained a reputation for drinking himself unconscious the night before matches. Astonishingly, he would often still deliver impressive performances the next day. One account graphically describes him needing to be hosed down on Saturday mornings before being put in his kit to play. Later in life, particularly after retiring from football, his daily consumption reportedly reached as much as 3 bottles of spirits. Alongside alcohol, Baxter fought a powerful addiction to gambling. Described as compulsive, he bet on everything from horse racing to the colour of a bartender's socks. For Baxter, gambling seemed to provide the adrenaline rush that football could no longer consistently deliver as his career faded. The financial consequences were devastating. Estimates suggest Baxter lost between £250,000 and £500,000 to bookmakers over his lifetime. Astronomical sums considering footballers' modest wages in his era. After retirement, he reportedly gambled away the profits from the pub he managed. These twin addictions created a vicious cycle. The environments associated with one, pubs and hotels, facilitated the other. The impulsivity driving heavy gambling mirrored the lack of control evident in his drinking. Financial stress from gambling losses likely drove increased drinking as a coping mechanism, while alcohol fueled further reckless betting. The impact on his football career was profound. His escalating drinking and declining fitness contributed to his transfer from Rangers to Sunderland in 1965. Despite being a record fee, many observers felt Baxter was already past his best at just 26. His reputation deterred bigger English clubs from signing him despite his obvious talent. Baxter's time at Sunderland proved turbulent. His spell there was dominated with disharmony with team captain Charlie Hurley. Their numerous fallouts overshadowed even Baxter's more impressive performances. Reports suggest their conflict nearly ended with one of them having his leg broken, indicating the serious nature of their animosity. Charlie Hurley wasn't just another teammate, he was Sunderland royalty, affectionately known as the King by fans. He embodied professionalism and commitment, described as the ultimate professional who always gave 100%. Baxter, meanwhile, arrived with immense talent but a growing reputation for indiscipline. This clash of personalities and professional ethics created an untenable situation. Then came became Baxter's most iconic moment, the famous keepy-uppy against England at Wembley in 1967. Scotland faced the reigning World Cup champions and won 3-2, with Baxter widely regarded as man of the match. During the game, he casually juggled the ball near the touchline, seemingly taunting the English players. This act instantly divided opinion. For Scotland fans, it was a moment of pure genius, a brilliant display of confidence and psychological mastery over the world champions. For others, it symbolised Baxter's arrogance and disrespect. Critics felt he should have focused on increasing Scotland's lead rather than showing off. By December 1967, Baxter's declining fitness and reputation led to his transfer to Nottingham Forest. His time there proved unsuccessful, and in 1969 he returned to Rangers. Despite promises to change his ways, he was arrested for drink driving within days of his return. The magic was clearly fading. Baxter retired from football in 1970 at the remarkably young age of 31, when most players would be in their prime. His decision to become a pub licensee after retiring proved disastrously unsuitable for someone battling alcoholism, likely making his addiction worse. Decades of heavy drinking eventually caught up with him. He developed severe liver damage, specifically alcoholic cirrhosis. By 1994, at age 55, his condition was critical. He required 2 liver transplants within days at Edinburgh Royal Infirmary after the first transplanted organ failed. He was placed on life support, with doctors describing his condition as critical. His case sparked ethical debate in Scotland about allocating scarce donor organs to patients whose condition stemmed from substance abuse. His son defended Baxter's right to treatment, stating he had been abstinent from alcohol for 9 months before the operations. Whether Baxter maintained sobriety following the transplants remains unclear. Several sources claim he swore off alcohol after the life-saving procedures. In a hospital interview, Baxter vowed, "I will never drink again. It is killing me, and a transplant may be my last chance." However, conflicting reports suggest he continued drinking until his death, albeit possibly in smaller quantities. In February 2001, Baxter was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. He died 2 months later in Glasgow on April 14, 2001, at age 61. While pancreatic cancer was the direct cause, chronic alcoholism is a significant risk factor for this disease. The addiction that destroyed his liver likely contributed to the cancer that claimed his life. Jim Baxter's legacy remains powerfully dualistic. He is celebrated as one of Scotland's greatest players, a genius on the ball, according to Celtic rival Jimmy Johnstone, and the finest left half ever produced by Rangers, in the words of Willie Waddell. His induction into multiple halls of fame and the memorial statue in his hometown attest to his impact. Yet his story stands as a cautionary tale about wasted potential. The talents that dazzled crowds at Wembley existed alongside destructive forces that cut short his career and ultimately his life. One can only wonder what heights he might have reached had he conquered his demons. The enduring myth of the flawed genius often romanticizes figures like Baxter, focusing on dazzling highs while glossing over devastating lows. A clear-eyed assessment reveals the harsh reality, a life profoundly impacted and ultimately shortened by addiction. How much more brilliance might football have witnessed if Jim Baxter, the man, had managed to overcome the demons that haunted Slim Jim? The legend will never know, and that's the true tragedy of his story. If you enjoyed this look at football's dark side, make sure to like this video, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe for more stories from the beautiful game's complicated history.